This is one of the very few examples of a game I continued playing even after getting 100% completion. Unfortunately, I can't tell you its name. I'm only kidding, the actual name of the game is... No, can we actually show the name of the game? It's... Unfortunately, I could continue making this joke till the cows come home, and it still wouldn't be as bad as actually naming your video game Redacted between brackets. In fact, as I'm about to sing this game's praises because I love it so much, I can definitely declare this game the best, worst named video game of all time. I play video games every single day, I listen to multiple gaming podcasts a week and read sites like Push Square and Video Games Chronicle on a regular basis, and I still found out about this game by accident. My purpose with this video is just to point you in the right direction if you're looking for that Hades kick. And if you want to support me and my new channel, all you have to do is leave a like to the video. Thank you. If this footage you're seeing right now gives you Dead Space vibes, well, it's because it takes place in the world of the Callisto protocol, which was inspired by Dead Space. And when I say inspired, I mean blatantly copying. But it's by the same guy who made Dead Space in the first place. Let me back up. The creator of the popular sci-fi horror franchise Dead Space is Glenn Schofield. He shepherded the franchise under Visceral Games, who was owned by Electronic Arts. Long story short, they parted ways in not the most pleasant way when EA shut down the studio. Well, Glenn Schofield then started another studio called Striking Distance, and he made basically a worse Dead Space clone in the Callisto protocol. Well, the main topic of our video, Redacted between brackets, is a roguelike dungeon crawler set in the world of that game. Now, in my humble opinion, Hades is the undisputed king of that genre by far. The way Supergiant Games blended storytelling, fast-paced combat and progression in a roguelike is nothing short of miraculous. You might have already deduced why I'm mentioning Hades in a video about Redacted between brackets, but the truth is the game is the best Hades clone ever made. And that might sound like a backhanded compliment, but I assure you it's not. This game brings to the surface sufficient new ideas that it's not a cheap copycat imitation. It's inspiration, not imitation. Think of Lies of P versus a FromSoft game. What I immediately fell in love with playing Redacted between brackets was the buttery smoothness of the combat. This is a gameplay-first video game, and honestly, if this type of game doesn't feel good to play, it doesn't even stand a chance. Unfortunately, just seeing this game in action doesn't do it justice. In fact, it's quite a hard game to look at. Not because it's ugly, but because it's extremely chaotic, fast-paced, and well, it's just not a good game from the passenger seat viewpoint. When you're playing it, you understand anything and everything that's going on in front of you, but if someone else looks at you play, they might think you're having a seizure of some kind. As it is the case in any roguelike, you will die a lot in this game. What I liked about their version of the reason you come back is that, well, you don't. You play as a prison guard trying to navigate your way through hordes of monsters and leave the planet via the last escape pod. And if you die, you don't magically resurrect, but simply in the next run you're someone else. Just another guard trying to make it for the escape pod. What's cool is that you can actually fight your last corpse if you choose to do so. You'll find it, obviously, right where you previously died, and if you choose to resurrect your old self and fight it, higher tiered loot will be guaranteed. What this game brings to the table and separates it from Hades is the urgency of the runs. You need to get to the escape pod fast, because you're not the only one trying to escape. Here come the rivals of this game and the ones who you'll be fighting as mini-bosses along the way. They're interesting characters and quite well written in my opinion. You'll encounter, for instance, Liz Harry, a prison lunch lady, Ronnie Flagg, a violent gangster, a very funnily written Zach Stern, who's a game survivor, plays D&D and drops gaming quotes all the time, and some more that I'll let you discover for yourself. When you do encounter them, they're gonna kill you quite fast in the beginning as they're extremely tough. However, you will make those fights way easier as you discover more and more intel on them. Hence the horrible name of the game, Redacted. One of the rooms that appears on your runs has a computer terminal icon above it, and that's where you'll unredact information about your opponents. After you do that, you'll gain small buffs against them, you'll take less damage, find out what moves stun them, and so on and so forth. These computer terminal rooms appear only once per run, so it's always a good idea to choose them when they appear. After you completely unredact all the information on a specific character, you'll automatically fight them next. During your regular runs, after a meter fills up, you can use remote attacks on your opponents. You always see on the bar sitting on the bottom of the screen where each of the 3 rivals is, so you can decide who gets thrown what. Kinda like a blue shell in Mario Kart. Now let's dive in a bit deeper into, let's face it, the most fun part of the game, which is the combat. More specifically, the weapons at your disposal. First of all, you will start each run with 2 weapon types, a melee weapon and a ranged one. The starting melee weapon is the stun baton, which you'll definitely recognize if you played the Callisto protocol. Next, you can unlock the cattle prod, which is a great weapon for crowd control and has an extended reach with charged blasts, the barman shankers, basically broken up bottles which are great for fast combos and backstabs, an electric whip which is also great for crowd control, and lastly the kinetic hammer which does extremely high damage but it has slower attack speeds. On the ranged weapon side we have the starting hand cannon, your standard issue firearm, the riot gun, because why call it simply a shotgun, which by the way was actually my favorite weapon to use in this game, because if you get the right combination of buffs for it, you can turn this gun into a monster that almost one-shots any enemy. Next up we have the assault rifle, not my favorite, the dual blasters, who kinda suck too, the mortar backpack, which kicks ass, the grenade launcher, which fires sticky grenades that you can detonate at will, and last but not least the atom gun, which basically shoots continuous lasers. So overall, quite a large variety of weapons. And when you consider the game is a roguelike, each run truly makes the guns feel different too. As I mentioned earlier, with the red gun, you can get some boosters that give it a huge damage output while lowering the ammo count, or in other runs you can basically turn your shotgun fire rate so high it feels like an assault rifle. You really have to try each weapon for yourself and see what each buff can do to it. So you shouldn't judge any weapon just by clearing a room or 2 with it. Now I know the whole "I'm so weak at first, then I'm so strong" mantra is the main core of every roguelike, but I feel Redacted between brackets captures it better than almost any other. It's why I actually continued playing even after I got all the achievements for it, which I almost never do. In the later stages of the game, you truly become a machine, and you can beat bosses and clear entire areas without even getting hit. Oh, and I forgot to mention the game is narrated by Michael Rooker, who plays, let's say, the main villain of this game. It definitely doesn't have a story as good or interesting as Hades, but it does give enough intrigue in order to not completely ignore it. And I was quite curious what was the deal with the narrator and why he helped me along the way. I'll keep it vague here for spoiler reasons, but in order to roll the credits, as it were, for this game, you need to beat the final boss in a final run. However, the game warns you, thankfully, that if you're not truly prepared, you shouldn't go in for the final run. Why? Well, because if you don't go all the way and die in this particular run, you lose all your permanent upgrades that you unlocked throughout the whole game. Thankfully, I didn't die and that didn't end up happening to me. It's a shame this video game was so overlooked because, honestly, it's a damn great one. It's so ironic that the Callisto protocol had an alleged 150 million budget, which it definitely didn't recoup as the game was pretty much a commercial failure, and this spin-off was made by a small fraction of that sum, and in my opinion ended up the superior product. It wasn't advertised at all, it has the worst possible name you could give a video game, and it was kinda doomed from the start. I hope this video finds at least one of you out there who will give this game a try and love it just like I did. Until next time, thank you for watching, and please find things to enjoy in your life every single day.